book and wax friends. I'm Amber. If you're new, welcome back. If you're returning, I do post about book and home fragrance things on my channel, and I am happy that you're here with me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. If you enjoy this content and you want to see more, I'm always happy when I get those likes and comments and everything else. I love to talk to you guys down in the comments. So yeah, I appreciate it. Today's video is a book video. It is my fall TBR. So this is not all the books on my fall TBR. I was like, I needed to narrow it down for the video. Otherwise the video is going to be an hour and a half long. So I split it up. September, October, November, and there's 5 books in each. And so let's get into it, and let me share with you some books that are on my fall TBR. So the first one I have is also on my annual TBR. It is The House Witch. This is by Delum Hawk. Excuse me. Started it, as you can see. I was reading it. I got like 2 chapters into it last year, and I just never got around to finishing it. And so I was like, I want to finish this one. I want to read this one. So I'm going to read it this year. And that's why I made it a priority on my annual TBR and now on my fall TBR. So let's look at what this is about. But doesn't this look so cute? This totally looks like a fall book to me. So it says, a heartwarming and humorous blend of fantasy, romance, and mystery, featuring a witch with domestic powers and the royal household he serves dinner. When Finley Ashawen joins the staff of the king and queen of Daxaria, he's an enigma. No one knows where he comes from or how he came to be where he is, which suits Finn just fine. He's satisfied simply serving as the royal cook, keeping nosy passerby out of his kitchen and concocting some truly uncanny meals. But Finn's secret identity doesn't stay hidden for long. After all, it's not every day a house witch and his kitten familiar Kraken take to meddling in imperial affairs. As his powers are gradually discovered by the court, Finn finds himself involved in a slew of intrigues, going head-to-head with knights with less than chivalrous intentions, helping to protect the pregnant queen, fending off the ire of the royal mage, and uncovering a spy in the castle. So fun, super fun, cozy fantasy. So okay, the next one I have, this is part of my 5-star predictions for the 3rd quarter. It is Truth Curse. This is by Angie Dickinson. I felt like this would be a good September read because I know it has to do with a school. So let's see what it's about together. Speaking the truth can be a dangerous thing. Cressida Hoth is alone in the world, orphaned and unwanted. She is inflicted with a peculiar curse by her mischievous aunts and banished to a finishing school in the secluded kingdom of Durnmont. Students train in every accomplishment suitable for young ladies: music, dancing, etiquette, and strangely, poison making, fencing, and lock picking. The school is a front for a rebel spy ring, and when her training is complete, Cressida is selected to join a mission to infiltrate the kingdom's royal court. She has been thrown unceremoniously into a world of ball gowns and espionage, but she is still under a curse, and it threatens to expose them all. So how fun does that sound? I think it sounds so fun. It reminds me of Ella Enchanted a little, so I'm looking forward to getting to that one. Okay, the next one is the 3rd and final book in India Holton's Love's Academic series. It's interconnected standalone, so you don't necessarily have to read every book. I would suggest reading them in order, but it's not absolutely necessary. So this one is called The Antiquarian's Object of Desire. It is also a scholarly type of book. and quirky and fun. So when two history professors and best friends are forced to fake hate to protect their reputations, chaos ensues in this rollicking historical fantasy rom-com. Magical antique experts Amelia Tarrant and Caleb Sterling have been best friends forever, although lately each has begun secretly wishing for more than friendship. But when rumors about their relationship spread, they're forced to fake being enemies to protect their reputations and keep their jobs. The resulting arguments spark havoc across Oxford University, and when they cause an explosion while fighting over a magical antique, is the final straw for their exasperated faculty head. He dispatches them to a job in Cumbria, where even they can't get into trouble. It proves just how wrong one man can be. In a storm-bound old manor house, Amelia and Caleb face magical mayhem and rampaging ghosts that make the previous havoc look mild in comparison. Most troublesome of all, though, is the secret of how they feel for each other. When it comes to tackling deadly antiques, hiding the truth in their hearts could destroy them for real. So I'm excited about that one. I did enjoy the first two. I do have to say these aren't absolute clean romances. They're more like cracked door. Just an FYI for those that are concerned about those things. And there's a little profanity. It's not a lot. Okay, moving on to The Teller of Small Fortunes. This is by Julie Leong, and it is a cozy fantasy. And this is the Fairy Loot version. I think it's so cute. And this is, I've heard it is good for fall. So that's why I've saved it until the fall. Let's read what it's about together. Fleeing a troubled past, immigrant fortune teller Tao roams the dusty countryside with only her mule for company, telling small fortunes for small prices. Big fortunes come with big consequences, which she knows from bitter experience. It's a lonely life until she encounters an ex-mercenary and a semi-reformed thief who recruit her into their desperate search for a lost child. Soon they're joined by a baker with a need for adventure and, of course, a slightly magical cat. Tao sets down a new path with companions as big-hearted as her fortunes are small. But as her friends break down her walls, the shadows of her past close in. Now Tao must decide whether to risk everything to save the family she never thought she could have. So found family, cozy, it seems like it'll be perfect. So The Teller of Small Fortunes. And then lastly, in September, is another one that was a 5-star prediction, although now I'm feeling like it's probably not going to be 5 stars, because I know some viewers have said they liked it, but it wasn't amazing. But it is Once Upon an Apple. Totally feels September coded. This is by Gabrielle Landy. And this one doesn't have, this one, it only says a lord's son, a milkmaid, and 7 mischievous goats. So it's inspired by Snow White. So it's a different take on that. Cozy fall fantasy. So Once Upon an Apple. Okay, moving on to October, a little more spookier reads. But you know me, I'm a chicken. So I don't have super spooky things. But I do have, I don't have it here, but I am planning on reading The Picture of Dorian Gray in the month of October. And there was one other, what was it? Spectres in the Glass. If I remember, I'll put a picture here. I don't remember. Jamie Jo Wright, I think, is the author of that. So those were 2 bonus books that I didn't mean to talk about, but now I just did. Okay, but those 2 I'm also planning on reading in October, plus these. The first one, I know I shared in last month's haul, is Mercury Rain Ghost Broker. This is by Sarah M. Eden, who is the author of Seeking Persephone, which is all the rage as far as movies goes right now. So let's see what this is about together. In the glittering world of the Tawn, wealth is as important as rank nearly as important as connections, but nothing is as vital to one's success in society as having the right ghost, which is so funny to me. What is fashionable in specters changes almost as often as preferred fabrics and necklines, favored diamonds of society, and admired town bucks. Trading an unstylish ghost can mean the difference between social success and utter failure, and no one is more adept at facilitating those trades than England's most sought-after ghost broker, Mercury Rain. Born a penniless orphan, he has made both a name for himself and an enviable fortune. But when the intriguing Miss Huddleston and her overbearing mother arrive at his estate, intent on making an advantageous specter swap, the carefully crafted facade he presents to the world begins to crack. Miss Huddleston has brought a secret, one that could destroy everything he has built. So it sounds so fun. I'm excited for that one. Okay, the next one is a cozy fantasy horror, and it is mostly human resources. I just got this from Fairy Loot this month, so spoiler for my next book haul, but I did get the Fairy Loot version of this. But look how cute. We have a little jackalope, so cute. Okay, so this one is by Grace Vile, I think is what it says. And then the inside said, amongst mountains as old as time, the jackalopes and ghouls are the least of your worries. At Entity, the organization responsible for managing the world's monsters, Alexis is more than happy keeping her late father's legacy alive from behind a desk, far from anything with teeth. But when she heads into the Appalachian Mountains to conduct a routine in-person review with her newly assigned warden, Elliot, she instead finds nothing. Elliot has vanished without a trace, and after his recent reports of sightings of a never-recorded creature called the Hollow Walker, Alexis can't ignore the possibility he's in real danger. Against every self-preserving instinct, she pushes deeper into the mountains to find him. Nick, Entity's ambitious and annoyingly charismatic director of research and cataloging, isn't about to let the chance to investigate an undocumented monster slip away. And if joining the search means irritating his favorite work nemesis, he's already packed. But as Alexis and Nick descend into the ancient Appalachians, they begin to understand why some monsters remain unrecorded and why no one should wander these mountains after dark. That sounds good. That sounds really good. So hopefully it isn't super horror, but I've heard good things about it. Cozy fantasy horror. So the next one I have is Sleepless. This was not the normal cover. This is Jen Williams. I think this was Alcrate. I think this was Alcrate. And it says, welcome to a world where gods and monsters roam the earth. Elver is the guardian of the wild and dangerous monster forest. Saved from the brink of death by a god, her skin will poison anyone she touches. Arter is on a mission, one that takes him face to face with Elver at her most ruthless. But her defenses are useless when she when she discovers he's the only human impervious to her deadly gift, because Arter isn't human. He's one of the sleepless, cursed to share his body with a sinister force. Lucian inhabits their body while Artair sleeps, and he is hell-bent on manipulating Elver for his dark purposes. But Elver is harboring secrets too, and she has her own reasons for feigning an alliance with these two souls. Caught in the crossfire of God's monsters and dangerous magic they can barely understand, it is only a matter of time before the paths of the three of them choose to take will set alight the very foundation of their world. So, love triangle, but a very different type of love triangle because two people inhabit the same body. So, it sounds interesting. So, I got this last year in a book box, and it definitely feels like an October-y type of read. So, there's that. Okay, last but not least, how could I not include vampire books? I'm not sure if I'll get to both of them or either of them. One was on my fall TBR last year, and I didn't get to it. But I know the second book's come out now, and so I do want to make this one a priority just because I don't know if I want to continue, you know, that sort of thing. Get the next special edition to go with this one. So it is Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma, something like that. And this one says, orphaned heiress Kadan Adane grew up far from the arcane society she was born into, where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship. When her sister June disappears, Kadan is convinced a vampire stole her. The very vampire bound to their family, the cruel yet captivating Susenyos Sagad. To find June, Kadan must infiltrate the elite Uxley University, where she must survive living with Susenyos, even as he does everything he can to drive her away. It doesn't matter that Susenyos' wickedness speaks to Kadan's own violent nature and tempts her to surrender to a life of darkness. She must find her sister and kill Susenyos at all costs. When a murder mirroring June's disappearance shakes Uxley, Kadan sinks further into the ruthless underworld of vampires, risking her very soul. There she discovers a centuries-old threat, and June could be at the center of it. To save her sister, Kadan must bring Uxley to its knees and either break free from the horrors of her own actions or embrace the dark entanglements of love and the blood it requires. So, vampire-y goodness. We'll see about that one. And then the other one is The Gravewood. I just got this a couple months ago by Kelly Andrew. And this one is, let's see, Shay Parker has lived her entire life in the shadow of the Gravewood, a deadly forest that cuts her town off from the world. With resources dwindling, she's forced to ration her hearing aid batteries. So that's awesome that we have a deaf representation. When her stash runs out, she'll be left in silence. Her only hope is Oliver Lysander, the volatile leader of the vampires who rule the Gravewood. Their deal is simple. She gives him her blood, he brings her batteries. No lines crossed, nothing personal. Until Shay's best friend is lured into the Gravewood and her brother, Asher Thorley, returns from the front lines, willing to expose Shay's darkest secrets to get his sister back. Ever the opportunist, Lysander offers a new bargain. If Asher kills his vampire rival, he'll help find the missing girl. And if Shay agrees to turn, he'll cure her ailing mother. But every deal pulls her closer to Lysander and to becoming a monster herself. So, a little dystopian. It sounds like it's a dystopian vampire fantasy. So, that one will be interesting. I don't know if it's the first book in a series. It just came out, so that's why I'm kind of prioritizing the Immortal Dark over the Gravewood, just because I know the second book's out or about to come out with Immortal Dark, whereas the Gravewood is brand new. And so if it's a series, I have to wait over a year or more. So we'll see. Okay, moving on to November fall picks. I went with November. I feel like it's like a spooky, but like more of a gothic, misty, atmospheric type of spooky. So atmospheric, gothic-y type of vibes, rather than straight on spooky. So these were ones that kind of fit, in my opinion. Could be completely wrong, but to me, I feel like they will. The first one is 7 Deadly Thorns. This is by Amber Hamilton. I think this is also, we have a Snow White retelling in fall. I think this is kind of a Snow White retelling as well. So let's see. Viola Sinclair has hidden her shadow magic her whole life. Discovery means certain death, for in the kingdom of Aragoa, dark magic is forbidden. When the queen finds out Viola's secret, she sends the royal assassin to kill her. He is given a cursed tattoo, 7 thorns on his arm for the 7 days he has to complete his deadly task. If he fails, he will be the one to die. The assassin is Rose, I think it's supposed to be Roze, Rokelart. Okay, sorry. I'm laughing because I feel like I'm butchering all these names. Entitled Prince, arrogant fellow student at Vandenberg Academy, and Viola's mortal enemy. The chance to strike Viola down at Rose's fingertips, but he needs something from Viola, and he's willing to spare her life and fake their engagement to get it. Oh, I love fake dating, fake engagement. I'm here for that. Forced to work together, Viola and Rose uncover terrible secrets, sinister threats, and an irresistible attraction. Can they learn to trust each other in time to save themselves and bring the light back to Aragoa? So, sounds fun. And here, I'll show you the artwork inside. So pretty. Okay, so 7 Deadly Thorns. Then we have The Never Error by Courtney Millican. Otherworlds Book 1. And this is a 20s inspired fantasy, inspired by Peter Pan, is what I know of it. It says, getting into Neverland is easy. Getting out will cost them everything. Charlie Toodles Tulane risked everything to break the spell binding the Lost Boys to Pan and escape Neverland. Now 17 and living in 1923 London, yes. Charlie's freedom from the land of fairy has never felt better, but even the noblest of actions have consequences. Neverland demands a leader, and without one, chaos spills into the mortal world. Spending his nights as an amateur boxer, Charlie meets the bright young things of London's upper class. Part of that group is Evie, a girl whose ravings about mermaids abducting her sister got her sent to an asylum. Now that she's back among polite society, Evie's under strict orders from her mother to avoid any further scandal and to attract a suitable match. But that proves difficult when Evie's friend and confidant from Fairy turns demanding and sinister, forcing her into a deal she can't refuse. In exchange for locating Pan's lost relics of power, the Fae will return the one thing Evie wants most. When Charlie learns his past betrayals set off a chain reaction resulting in the abduction of Evie's sister, the two must return to the place of Charlie's nightmares in the attempt to set things right. But this time, the price for rectitude might prove too steep for either one of them to pay. So I've heard good things, and this will be my first book by Courtney Millican. She does write clean fantasy, and I'm here for it. So that sounds really good. The Never Air. The next one is more of a cozier fantasy, and it is The Crescent Moon Tea Room. This was on my list last fall too. Didn't get to it, but I do still have a lot of interest in reading it, and so I was like, I'll put it on this list too. So this is by Stacy Savinsky, and I think there's a second book out now. So it says, ever since the untimely death of their parents, Anne, Beatrix, and Violet Quigley have made a business of threading together the stories that rest in the swirls of ginger, cloves, and cardamom that lie at the bottom of their customers' cups. Their days at the tea shop are filled with talks of butterflies and good fortune, intertwined with the sound of cinnamon shortbread being snapped by laced fingers. That is until the Council of Witches come calling with news that the city diviner has lost her powers, and the sisters suddenly find themselves being pulled in different directions. As Anne's magic begins to develop beyond that of her sisters, Beatrix's writing attracts the attention of a publisher, and Violet is enchanted by the song of the circus, and perhaps a mischievous trapeze artist threatens to sweep her off her feet. It seems a family curse that threatens to separate the sisters is taking effect. With dwindling time to rewrite their future and help 3 other witches challenge their own destinies, the Quigleys set out to bargain with fate. But in focusing so closely on saving one another, will they lose sight of themselves? So I love the cover of this one too. It's so cute. The Crescent Moon Tea Room. Sounds like it could be good. Then I have The Lord of Dreams by C.J. Brightly. I know she writes clean fantasy as well. I have read a Christmas novella by her. It was a lot of fun. The 12 Days of Fairy Christmas, I think it was the title of it. It was a lot of fun. So I'm interested in getting to this one. I heard it's inspired by The Labyrinth, which, do you guys remember The Labyrinth? Did you watch The Labyrinth as a kid? I loved The Labyrinth when I was a kid. And so I was like, sign me up for this book. So it says, when a fairy king grants a human wish, there's more at stake than dreams. Claire Delaney has a good life despite her adolescent angst, but she wants more. In a moment of frustration, she wishes to be the hero. What she actually wants is to be the center of attention, but what she gets is a terrifying fae king demanding that she rescue an imprisoned fairy, facing fantastical dangers and hardships she could not ever imagine. Yet the dreams and the rescue are only the beginning of her journey. She is at the center of the king's audacious gamble to end the war that has raged in Fairy for half a century. Sounds good, and the cover is definitely giving me November vibes for sure. So, The Lord of Dreams. Then lastly, all the rest of these have been like fantasy, except for my mentioning The Picture of Dorian Gray. This is the first one, I think, out of all of them. Oh no, the Mercury Rain one isn't either. But the rest of them are fantasy. Or fantasy-inspired magical realism. But you know me. That's what I love, is fantasy. So that's what I'm going to read the most of. But this one is not fantasy. It is The Scent of Oranges by Kathy George. It says a stunning retelling of Oliver Twist. So my husband got this for me for Christmas last year. I think it was Christmas. And I'm looking forward to it. It feels November-ish to me. Could be completely wrong, but it feels like November. So this says, Nancy has spent her whole life on the vibrant and gritty streets of Victorian London. First as one of Fagin's child pickpockets, and now on the arm of violent and mercurial Bill Sykes. Nancy does what she must to get by. She's attuned to the harsh realities of life, but also knows how to find moments of beauty amid the grime, even if it is only the scent and taste of an orange. its miraculous color and form. When she embarks on a relationship with enigmatic gentleman, Mr. Rufus, it awakens emotions she's never felt before and makes a better life feel possible for the first time. But when she takes cherubic orphan Oliver Twist under her wing, something even more elusive and appealing seems to be within reach: redemption. This captivating tale of love, sacrifice, and the battle between good and evil showcases the power of compassion in a world tainted by darkness. So it sounds really good, and I love that it is a twist on Oliver Twist. So the scent of oranges. So that's it, you guys. Those are some of the books on my fall TBR. As I said, I had way more, but I was like, I can't, have to cut it down so my video isn't too long. So I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Please leave a leaf emoji if you don't have anything to say and you did make it this far. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.